So if you connect the
33K?
high from 69,000 here to this high,
Mm-hmm.
notice how this line is right around 30,000 right now.
Mm,
It will slope down right into this 28,000 area, probably in about a month or so, right? Now,
gotcha.
if we somehow get above that, then that is a breakout on the charts. That would get my attention. And I think that would be the one case where I would say, okay, now I actually kind of do believe that the bottom is in. And now we could go back to 69, 70, 80, 100,000 on Bitcoin.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Daily Crypto. As we currently enjoy the bull run to key resistance levels, many fear that the worst is not yet over. Is the worst behind us, or are we facing the calm right before the storm? Are there new lows we should expect in these summer months? Keep watching to find out as we answer these questions with Chief Market Strategist and Chief Financial Officer of InTheMoneyStocks.com, Gareth Soloway. Now, what does Soloway have to say on the current Bitcoin trend?
Here on Bitcoin, you can see this level here, which is 21.8, which was the level that it basically was hammering against, going all the way really back to when it broke down and made the lowest point back in June, right? So we got the close yesterday. We were getting continuation, which looks like it's confirming the move. And it looks to me like we'll head up to this 25.5 level. That's the pivot low from the Terra Luna collapse over here. To me, that's the big level next, at least the next target. I do think there's a chance we go through that, maybe all the way as high as about 28.5.
Mm-hmm.
But again, for me at least, I'm in the position of where, whether it's 25.5 or 28.5, I'm not thinking that we get through that high level. And I think there still is some more downside. Now, I am still currently long Bitcoin. I did take some profits today. FTT, I pulled my profits there. Avalanche, I took some profits there, but I still have some Ethereum long. I still have some Bitcoin long. I still have some Cardano, Polkadot, Chainlink. So I still have some exposure as we ride this wave. But again, it's not a long-term play for me. This is a shorter-term play up into these resistance levels. Once we get there, I'll be looking to take profits and basically rinse and repeat. And that's what I've done for so long. It's worked out very well.
Could it be that the bottom might actually be 17,500? Others might argue that it is not an unreasonable guess, but if we do break to the downside, are we really going all the way down to $12,000 or $10,000? Gareth Soloway weighs in on this.
You know, I definitely think there's always a chance that that's correct. I mean, we just never know for sure. My few things that bother me about the potential low being in is that we still haven't seen enough disruption in the overall crypto market. So, you know, you go to coins, they've all been discounted, some of them 95%, some of them 90%. Even Ethereum is down significantly, although the bounce has been just absolutely awesome on Ethereum. But to me, I look at that sector and I'm like, how can this many coins still exist? And if this is the bottom and now we're headed up, how does that work? How do we have so many coins in the system at that point? So for me, that's one of the issues. And also looking back and comparing it to the .com era, you know, you haven't seen that full capitulation. I mean, we did see fear when we were below the 2017 highs, but we didn't see that all out, like throw your hands up in the air, crypto's over kind of mentality, which is usually what notes the bottom. In fact, 2018, that was very similar to what we saw. We saw this kind of, you know, oh my goodness, Bitcoin no more kind of thought. And then that was the bottom at 3,500.
Soloway adds that the other issue could be the Feds. Even though the Federal Reserve is going to essentially stop hiking probably later this year and probably start easing in 2023, the question is, why are they doing that? Soloway responds.
The question is, why are they doing that? And my guess is you're starting to see a real destructive event going on in the economy, right? And if you see the NASDAQ starting to really collapse down, and I don't think the NASDAQ's bottomed by any stretch, I think it's got to go down 40, 50% at minimum, then what you're saying is that you'll see a pivot in Bitcoin where it starts to strengthen when the NASDAQ and the stocks actually go down, which I actually agree. Eventually that happens.
Yeah.
I just don't know if this is the time frame where that happens. So I think that, you know, it's definitely a possibility. If there's one thing, just like Game of Thrones, if there's one thing I know nothing, kind of,
Yeah, of
nothing
course, of
Jon
course.
Snow, right? You have to respect the charts, that they're the ones that are always right, and you just don't know. But for me, I'd be amazingly surprised if all of a sudden it's the new bull run, and here we go to the upside.
Soloway provides an expert analysis on the Bitcoin charts.
So if you connect the
33K?
high from 69,000 here to this high,
Mm-hmm.
notice how this line is right around 30,000 right now.
Mm,
It will slope down right into this 28,000 area, probably in about a month or so, right? Now,
gotcha.
if we somehow get above that, then that is a breakout on the charts. That would get my attention. And I think that would be the one case where I would say, okay, now I actually kind of do believe that the bottom is in, and now we could go back to 69, 70, 80, 100,000 on Bitcoin. But until then, we're still in a pretty steep downtrend. And really, if you look at this move, even if we go up to 25, 26, or even 28, that's all an inside bar bearish pattern from this move down, or better yet, even from this move down. And the last thing I'll just mention is that I still have a measured move where you take this high here to this low here, right? And then you had this consolidation pattern, right? So we have this kind of sideways channel. And then if you take that same distance from here and you extend it out, you actually get right around 12,000. So this line is the same as this line, and that gives me that kind of bottom area.
Soloway admits that nothing is absolutely certain, so anything can happen. It is part of how markets work. But he insists that his earlier predictions are right on the money. The chief market strategist even hints that Bitcoin could drop to even lower levels, but he keeps his fingers crossed on this one. So with the current wave of positive sentiments, albeit short-lived, what are the odds for a trader with contrarian viewpoints?
I mean, one of the reasons why I was starting to talk up a bounce, so everyone knows I called for 20,000 when we were at 69,000. One of the reasons, I mean, there were chart signals, but there was also just so much crazy bullishness that it was almost the easy way to go, which was just say, okay, well, if everyone's bullish, then it's not going to go that way. And same thing when we were below the 2017 highs of 19.5 or so, everyone was just like doom and gloom. And it's like, okay, well, now we're due for a bounce. We're oversold.
Right.
They've run the stops, which were at 19.5, which was a 2017 high. It made sense that we would see a bounce there. So the question is, as we rally, like when we see 26, 28, like you're saying, which I think we do see, do we then see everyone start to say the bottom's in?
Soloway goes on with his point.
You can't tell me that. I mean, in reality, that's even more stocks than there are in the whole entire stock market.
More stocks than the whole stock market. That's saying something. But there are people willing to take the risk by putting money in those. Soloway thinks that the money has to be wiped out.
So I think that, you may, maybe the top 50 survive, maybe, who knows, and there will be new ones that have great use cases that come out, just like new companies come out all the time. But I want to see that period where anyone speculating on the 1,001th cryptocurrency by market cap, that needs to be wiped out. That can't be in the system anymore unless there's a real use case to it. And people will argue there is, right? Oh, this one is about cats, or this one's about dogs, or like, and for me, I'm just like, really, we're in the real world here where you actually need to have some sort of use case that's legitimate. Okay. So
brutal facts, but Soloway adds,
and listen, I'll be the first to admit I'm not always right? I mean, I've made plenty of bad calls in my career. I just happen to be right more than I'm wrong. I mean, that's just the essence of it. So, I mean, you just try to do that, and then you'll be fine in your investing career.
At this point, one might wonder, how often does Soloway lose money in trades? He responds,
I mean, for me, I need to be right more than that because I tend to lose more on my losers, So like I bat about 80%, so 8 out of 10. But you'll notice that on my 2 losers out of every 10, I probably lose like 1.5 versus, the one that I gain on a winner. So it knocks out about 3 total. And so I'm gaining about 7 out of every 10 with that.
That would mean Soloway is a more conservative trader, and he openly admits it. The cowboy days are over, and he has earned his reputation with decades of experience. The flagship cryptocurrency is not the only coin that is currently looking good. Ethereum has been pulling weights in good percentages too. So what spiked Ethereum so hard? The chief financial officer answers.
Yeah, I mean, this is a beautiful move. I think you have to marvel the fact that It was at 1,000 6-7 days ago, and it hit a high of 1630. That's a 60% move. It is getting close to major resistance, though. So I'm still in this. But if we get close to this 1,700 level, I'm going to take profits, and I might even pull a short. I might even pull the trigger on a quick short trade. Granted, very quick. I'm not, I'll look for 200-300 downside kind of thing and just grab that money and run. But that is a major resistance. I would be very surprised if Ethereum blew right through 1,700 without any sort of pullback.
In that case, when we make the comparison to Bitcoin, how is Ethereum doing? Soloway thinks that, for the most part, Ethereum is running first. He says that we have seen that already, and Bitcoin will start to get more momentum in it. But it is important to note that Ethereum fell more than Bitcoin, so there is a chance that Bitcoin gets up to that level. He adds,
it's very close to its target of 1,700. Bitcoin still has a little ways to go. So if we bring up the Bitcoin chart here, Bitcoin can still technically maybe even get as high as this 28,000 marker. So I think Bitcoin probably takes the lead here out, and you'll see more money flowing in there. So I think if I had to choose one to be in right now I'm in both right now in the near term, but I would choose Bitcoin to stick with. And if I had to take profits on one, I'd take profits on Ethereum. I mean, 60% move is just an epic move with pretty much no pullback.
Gareth is bullish on Bitcoin in the long term, as we all should be, since it is better money than fiat in terms of inflation rates, and also that its money-currency relationship has no leakage. Not to mention its additional perks that are bringing up a whole new level of utility for blockchains in the crypto space. Soloway had correctly predicted the current market trend, including this short bull run. Check out our previous videos for more info from Gareth Soloway. Although it is expected that things are to get worse before they get better, let's not be overwhelmed by the current state of the market, so we fail to see the bigger picture. There is every reason to expect Bitcoin will be bullish into the future. As you already know, it is an alternative to fiat that cannot be printed willingly and can be transferred electronically, compared to assets like gold. Thanks for watching this video. How high do you think we will go before the downward slope sub 20, 25.5 or 28K? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Don't forget to smash that like button, share our video with your friends and family, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you on the next one. Bye for now.